Hello, everyone, and welcome to the cafe. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, and yes, we are back with another episode of our cafe. As you can see, to those who are watching over on koolTV on Twitch and Facebook, we have a brand new lower thirds which you can find down there, but that also means you don't get to see ASPHERE'S Cafe logo anymore for the time being. That is because we are currently reworking on the lower thirds as we speak. All right, so how are you all doing so far? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I hope you all are having a beautiful day, or I should say, a beautiful day wherever you are. Alright, without wasting any more time now, let's get into the latest round of the Tech Cafe. So let's get my screen share up as we speak. And oh boy, we are starting with Entropic suing the US Department of Defense. Oh dear. So let's get my screen share up as we speak. Alright, so man, the US and the AI company are not sitting well, it seems. So this is coming from The Verge. Entropic has sued the US government over its designation as a supply chain risk, the latest move in a weeks-long battle between it and the Pentagon over the acceptable use cases for its military AI tech. A suit filed in a California district court accuses the Trump administration of illegally punishing the company for setting red lines on mass domestic surveillance and fully autonomous weapons. So this is what is what. Whoops, that was unexpected. But anyway, where was I? Alright, so this is what they said it coming from its lawsuit, and well, we're gonna read it to you right here. Let's read it right here. This is coming from a suit. Reading quote. The federal government retaliated against a leading frontier AI developer for adhering to its protected viewpoint on a subject of great public significance, AI safety, and the limitations of its own AI models in violation of the Constitution and laws of the United States. Defendants are seeking to destroy the economic value created by one of the world's fastest growing private companies, which is a leader in responsibly developing and emergence technology of vital significance to our nation. So the lawsuit follows a roller coaster couple of weeks for Entropic, in which the company was faced with the threat of and then the official designation of risk. The designation is typically not made public and often applies to foreign companies that could be a cybersecurity threat or other material risk to national security, rather than companies headquartered in the US. Additionally, President Donald Trump ordered all government agencies to cease using Entropic's tech within 6 months. Entropic's blacklisting raised eyebrows and caused significant bipartisan controversy due to fears that disagreeing with a current presidential administration could significantly affect a company's bottom line and whether it was able to operate as a business altogether. Entropic argues that the government's actions penalize it for speech protected under the First Amendment and violate its Fifth Amendment rights. Moreover, it states the demand for all government agencies to drop it falls outside the authority of the executive branch. Entropic has said since the original announcement that it would challenge the supply chain risk designation in court. In recent days, some of the company's biggest clients, like Microsoft, have made clear that they're continuing to work with Entropic, but setting up processes so that their work with Entropic has no involvement in any of their work in any of their own work with the Pentagon. However, the suit notes that government agencies outside the U.S. Department of Defense have cut ties with Entropic. The General Services Administration terminated its OneGov contract, ending the availability of Entropic services to all three branches of the federal government, and multiple other agencies, including the Department of the Treasury and State Department, have publicly or reportedly privately said they plan to cease using it as well. The Pentagon declined to comment. So here is the list of pages, or I should say full-page lawsuit detailing why Entropic filed a lawsuit against the US Department of Defense. It's a lot to go through, so I'm not gonna even bother reading right here, but you can see that they're explaining why Entropic refuses to build mass surveillance for them, and it's safe to say they don't want to be involved. So let's read the comment section on what they had to say. Alright, I'm gonna warn you before a bit, I might be getting a little bit political, so forgive me if you will, but again, this is very interesting to cover for what I am hearing. Alright, so let's start with low poly G-Lot. US government should designate Entropic as a supply chain risk for not making good models, not for the reasons the US government outlined. It won't take away the fact that Entropic's technology is being used in the war in Iran now. In a way, I hope Entropic wins to preserve democracy, but man, they will do absolutely anything besides make a good model. And well, according to Nicholi, in which they replied to comment, saying the government is happy to use Grook, so I don't think bottle quality is much of a concern for them. Yeah, I guess, because I'm gonna be real with you. Why they're saying this is because, well, if you know, you know, Donald Trump has connections with Elon Musk. Yes, Donald Trump has Elon. How do I say this? Donald Trump has How do I call this? Donald Trump has ties with Elon Musk, so that's why they well, I don't know really, but that's why I should say that's why they really prefer using Grook. Alright, moving on. Blue Cloud said, easy to cheer on Entropic here and seems like a straightforward case. These fascist warmongers need to be removed from power as quickly as possible. Every legal win in situations like these is another key anchor to holding on to the remaining power of democracy in this country. SV Crossdo said, I hope they win. So there you have it. So that's what their take is when it comes to Entropic suing against the US Department of Defense. And after I think about it, now that I think about it, yeah, I have to agree that Entropic made the right call to do it, because you know, we don't want mass surveillance in the America, right? And what's even the good thing is that they're citing First Amendment and Fifth Amendment, and of course, these amendments are very fundamental for your human rights. So that's why they're doing much as they can to exhaust in preventing U.S. agencies from making the mass surveillance a thing. So yeah, I hope they win the case against them, because if they do, this will be a big win-win. All right, moving on to the next one. And speaking of Anthropic, it looks like the OpenAI and Google employees are in favor of Anthropic's lawsuit against the Pentagon. So on Monday, if I have as I have covered earlier, Anthropic filed its lawsuit against the Department of Defense over being designated as a supply chain risk. Hours later, nearly 40 employees from OpenAI and Google, including Jeff Dian, Google's chief scientist and Gemini lead, filed an ambiguous brief in support of Anthropic's lawsuit, detailing their concerns over the Trump administration's decision and the technology's risk and implications. The news follows a dramatic few weeks for Anthropic, in which Trump administration labeled the company a supply chain risk, a designation typically reserved for foreign companies that the government deems a potential risk to national security in some way. After Anthropic stood firm on two red lines regarding acceptable use cases for military use of its technology, domestic mass surveillance, and fully autonomous weapons or AI systems with the power to kill with no human involvement. Negotiations broke down, followed by public insults and other AI companies stepping in to sign contracts allowing any lawful use of their technology. The supply chain risk destination not only prevents Anthropic from working on military contracts, it also blacklists other companies if they use Anthropic products in their line of work for the Pentagon, forcing them to upload CUDE if they wish to maintain their lucrative contracts. As the first model cleared for classified intelligence, however, Anthropic's tools are already deeply integrated into the Pentagon's work, so much so that just hours after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced the destination, the US military reportedly used CUDE in the campaign that killed the leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The amicus brief seeks to make the points that Anthropic's supply chain risk destination is improper retaliation that harms the public interest and that the concerns behind Anthropic's red lines are real and require a response. It also makes the point that Anthropic's two red lines are worth revisiting, stating that mass domestic surveillance powered by AI poses profound risk to democratic governance, even in responsible hands, and that fully autonomous lethal weapons systems present risk that must also be addressed. The group behind the amicus brief described themselves as engineers, researchers, scientists, and other professionals employed at US frontier artificial intelligence laboratories. So this is what the group said. We built, trained, and studied the large-scale AI systems that served a wide range of users and deployments, including in the consequential domains of national security, law enforcement, and military operations. We submit this brief not as spokespeople for any single company, but in our individual capabilities as professionals with direct knowledge of what these systems can and cannot do, and what is at stake when their deployment outpaces the legal and ethical frameworks designed to govern them. On the domestic mass surveillance front, the group said that though data on American citizens exists everywhere in the form of surveillance cameras, geolocation data, social media posts, financial transactions, and more, what does not exist yet is the AI layer that transforms this sprawling, fragmented data landscape into a unified, real-time surveillance apparatus. Right now, they wrote these data streams are siloed, but if AI were used to connect them, it could combine face recognition data with location history, transaction records, social graphs, and behavioral patterns across hundreds of millions of people simultaneously. End quote. When it comes to lethal autonomous weapons specifically, the group said that they can be unreliable in new or unclear conditions that don't align with that don't align with the environment they were trained in, meaning that they cannot be trusted to identify targets with perfect accuracy, and they are incapable of making the subtle contextual trade-offs between achieving an objective and accounting for collateral effects that a human can. Additionally, the group wrote lethal autonomous weapon systems potential for hallucination means that it's important for humans to be involved in the decision-making process before a lethal when the station is launched at a human target, especially since the system's chain of reasoning is often not available to operators and unclear even to the system's developers. The group behind the ambiguous brief wrote, stating, quote, "We are diverse in our politics and philosophies, but we are united in the conviction that today's frontier AI systems present risk when deployed to enable domestic mass surveillance or the operation of autonomous lethal weapon systems without human oversight, and that those risks require some kind of guardrails, whether via technical safeguards or usage restrictions." So there you have it. So once again, as you just saw, the employees have expressed support for Anthropic filing a lawsuit against the Pentagon and also being the U.S. Department of Defense. So I have already shared my take on that before, and yeah, it's pretty good to say the least. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gents. That's the Anthropic and the U.S. Department of Defense situation. And man, what's happening is insane, right? Anyway, let us know your thoughts down below, and what do you say about this? I'm not going too political, so if you can understand why, it's all because Anthropic is filing a lawsuit against U.S. Department of Defense, and now we know. So again, we don't intend to go too political, so we will be limiting on what I can talk on my show, because as much as possible, I don't want to get too political. So yeah. Alright, moving on to the next one, and finally, a good news for artists who uses X or Twitter. So coming soon, you will not be able to block, or soon you will be able to block Grook from editing your photos. And this is someone relieving news to show you, but what they are saying, what the Verge is thinking, yeah, that doesn't solve it, but we'll see if this is gonna help, but who knows. Anyway, so X has introduced a new feature that makes it slightly harder for other users to manipulate your uploaded images with the group chat bot. As reported by Social Media Today and verified by The Verge, a new toggle within the image upload settings on the X or Twitter iOS app says it can block modifications by Grook when enabled. But there's a catch. It doesn't actually prevent Grook from editing your photos. That's the catch. The small print underneath the feature's name reveals a significant limitation. Users can only prevent Grook from modifying this content. In our testing, the toggle only blocks the mechanism of tagging the XA chatbot in replies to an image on X alongside editing instructions, a capability that was notably abused to undress photographs of real men, women, and children in early January. This feature was blocked for free X accounts in response to global backlash from lawmakers and regulators, but paying subscribers can still edit images by tagging the bot. So this new option isn't easy to find. When you upload an image into the X post builder, you can locate it by tapping on the paintbrush symbol that appears on the bottom right of the thumbnail, and then selecting the flag icon at the bottom right of the editing taskbar. The Grook blocker didn't appear at any point during the X image upload process on the web in their testing. The toggle also doesn't appear on older content that's already been uploaded to X. The Verge published an image on X with a Grook block toggle enabled and tried to edit it with separate accounts. While free users are already blocked from editing images via @Grook responses, the new toggle also prevents paying premium subscribers from doing so. So that's pretty interesting. As you can see, in the screenshots, this is this is what this is what what it looks like when you wanna block group from editing your image. But yeah, this is one step closer to promoting a healthy AI, but it's not, it's still too far to say the least. So the feature hasn't been officially announced yet. So availability and developmental status are currently unclear. There you have it. So at the moment, X hasn't replied to The Verge's comment as of this episode. But if this is going to be a reality, well, all I can say is that this is going to be a good thing. But whatever the damages have caused not too long ago or last January, it's already been done either way. So what else can you do about it, right, when it comes to deepfakes on X generated using Grok? And of course, they already took measures by blocking free users from using their image editing tool. And yeah, but what about the paying subscribers that are still gonna abuse it anyway? That's the issue too. But yeah, again, if you again, this might be some good news, but there is a catch. Okay, there is a catch. I'm warning you. There's a catch. There's already a catch. I'm warning you. It won't actually prevent Grok from editing your photos, but it will, however, block the chatbot from editing your images. That's the catch I can say right now. So there you have it. And looks like our fellow Discord audience or I should say, my fellow colleague LTG is here. Hello, by the way, and yeah. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this, to say the least? Oh my god.
Yes.
But yeah,
Well, it is for the good, you know.
But yeah, what can you say about this? But again, there's a limitation or a catch, rather. But what can you say?
Well, it is for the good because you know what happened on X banning in the Philippines, you know. You know what happened on that?
Yeah, I'm actually aware that the ICT here in the Philippines actually blocked Grook for a few days until they reach agreement that they will monitor and delete the how do I say this, the deepfakes rather.
Yeah, the deepfake stuff. You know what, and you know who.
Yeah. But yeah, I am running out of breath. I have. Oh man, I have exhausted from talking about this because yeah. Again, you know, the image editing tool has stirred a lot of controversy. So I'm not gonna be too surprised if it's causing a problems again. But yeah. Anyway, this to our non-Discord audience, what are your thoughts? I would love to know on that in the comments. Oh boy. Oh man. Alright, it is now 6:55 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and we will now be taking our first commercial break as we will be covering a bunch of tech topics as well as the rumors with the smart home display and with the Apple's upcoming smart home display and when will iOS 7 be and when will iOS 27 be launching, along with Samsung winning the case against TCL in Germany, Adreno Ventuno Q, pretty cool, and of course we got a lot to talk about right here. So in the meantime, our fan-made sponsors, we got MSA Goddess as our newest sponsor, followed by Delsan, Kapinoy Coffee, Sancho Simplas, Melody Mart. Wait, no, Sancho Simplas is not a sponsor. Sorry about that. But yeah, we got alongside with MSA Goddess, we got Delsan, Kapinoy Coffee, Melody Mart, and always grocery. So stay along with us.
Thank you!
We'll return after the break. We will be right back.
Nutro low-fat milk. It has the same creamy neutral goodness with lesser fat and lesser calories. And now, it's rich with even more vitamins and minerals. More nutrients, less fat, less calories. So good you'll float. Nutro low-fat milk. Breast milk is still best for babies.
Kasi no? Pero don't worry mga lods. Let's learn to Peanut Antivirus. G para sa secure na browsing. G para sa secure na computer. At G para sa secure na Pilipinas.
Download and install Peanut Antivirus now.
Sa panahon ngayon, dapat maging mapanuri. Ang safe na toyo ay pasado sa food safety standards. Evacuation kasama ang level ng 3MCPD. Ang DM soy sauce, pasado. Safe gamitin, safe ang inyong pamilya. Magbabakasakali ka pa ba? DM soy sauce, ito ay safe.
Achoo! 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 Achoo!
Wala kaming commercial. Pwera na lang sa commercial nito, oo naman. Pero, meron ba kaming bagong produkto? Meron ba kaming iaalok sa inyo? Meron ba kaming kinuhang artista o sikat na personalidad para i-endorse kung anong mang inaalok namin? Siyempre, ang sagot niyan, wala. Literal na wala. Wala kami niyan, Chong.
Kahit saan, sisig ng ina mo, lunod ka sa saya, mula sa pampagana hanggang sa dulo.
Ang sisig na hinahanap-hanap mo ay nasa sisig ng ina mo na. For just 70 pesos, may legit na kapampangan na sisig ka na with soft drinks and sabaw. Dito lang yan sa sisig ng ina mo.
Ang boring dito. Hanap na lang kaya ako ng maiinom.
Ang refreshing!
Refresh your day. Feel alive with Chaos Cola. Also available, Chaos Soda.
Woo! 25 pesos lang. Sulit! Bin na!
Pagkagising sa umaang mangon at kumain ng sapat, gatas ang kailangan para lumusog ang katawan, pero may solusyon dyan. Ito ang MSI Gatas. Uminom ng MSI Gatas.
Ada Morela po, mag-MSA Gatas para iinumin ang gatas. Sarap. Mag-MSA Gatas na. 69 na piso SRP sa suking tindahan.
The use of milk supplements must only be upon the advice of a health professional.
Every sunrise brings a new story, and every story begins with a single journey. At Zakish Airlines, we believe travel isn't just about reaching your destination. It's about the experience that carries you there. From comfort that feels like home, to service that feels like family, we make sure your moments in the sky are unforgettable. Because when you fly with us, the world is closer than you think. Zakish Airlines, your world within reach.
Kung ikaw ay nagtataka, ito ay isang napakasarap na adobo. Pero bakit napakabango? Ang sikreto ni Mommy ay Ospen Toyo. Ito ay fermented, gawain ito sa pinakamahusay na kalidad ng soybeans mula sa sakahan, sobrang sarap, sobrang dekalidad, at syempre, Safe gamitin, ayon sa Food and Drug Administration. Para sa iyong pamilya, pipiliin ng lahat ang pinakamahusay na brand. Ospentoyo, sulit sarap!
Dito na tayo sa Jer-A, kung saan lahat ay okay. Sa Jer-A, lahat dito ay super mura. Lahat mga manga dito sa Jer-A. Sa Jer-A, napatunayan na ng bayan, wala namang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala. Mapapa-Jer-A talaga kayo. Ang supermarket namin ay Jer-A.
I'm an all-around media personality. Of course, I read books. Because not only they give me knowledge, but they're also a form of entertainment. What you're seeing right now are few of the best-selling brands of GSCA Kent Media. At iilan pa yan, marami pa yan ha. Basta, hanapin nyo lang ang logo na to. The Philippines' leading premier #1 awesome publisher GSCA Kent Media. Because reading is indispensable.
Iron, taurine, and B vitamins is the key for PD Cola.
PD Cola!
25 pesos lang, sang ka ba?
It's morning sunrise. It's time to buy another bread. Guyme's original pandan thai, made from real wheat flour, sugar, milk, butter, salt, all, and yeast for better taste and better smooth, fluffy, and extra soft. Price only at 20 pesos for 10 pandensil and 40 pesos for 20 pandensil. Available on Guyme's Bake Shop and other bakery stores nationwide.
Di biro ang maging newscaster at president and CEO. Dati, sa office inaantok pa ako at napapagod. Buti sa tulong ng Lion Energy Drink, lumakas pa ako. Bukod sa taurine, vitamin B complex at ginseng, ay meron ring vitamin C para lumakas ang immune system. Kaya ako'y matibay at masigla ang aking trabaho. Lakas ka with Lion Energy Drink. From Godwin Enterprise.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Lion Energy Drink ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin paggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Antukin pa rin ako tuwing umaga. Napakahirap talagang gumising at yun, late ako parati sa programa. Kapag maganda ang gising ko, sisigla pa rin ako sa tulong ng Tengu Coffee Drink. Ito ay may tamang tapang ng kape na may asukal at creamer. 3-in-1 sa tapang at sarap. Ang tapang, ang sarap. Try nyo. Basta may Tengu, gigising ka.
PDM. Ay naku, kakapagod mag-drive. Kailangan ko ng mainom.
Uhaw ba ka mo?
Who's that voice?
O ito, Miralles Cola Orange.
Teka, ito ba'y may iron, taurine, at B vitamins?
Correct! Try mo!
Oh wow! It's refreshing! Thanks, Billy!
Pwede mo rin yan araw-arawin 6 Para mas masigla ang araw, mag-Miralles Cola na!
15 pesos na lang! Bili na!
Miralles Cola!
Hay naku, nakaka-stress talaga ang traffic. Pagdating ko sa bahay, napahiga na lang ako sa sopa. Yun tuloy, sumakit na ang ulo ko. Reset.
Headache? May solusyon dyan. Introducing PD Pharma Paracetamol Anti-Fever Capsule. Bukod sa lagnat, panlaban rin yan sa sakit ng ulo. May bisa ng paracetamol para balik sigla ka na mula umaga hanggang gabi.
Ayos na ng pakiramdam ko ah. Salamat sa PD Pharma Paracetamol.
Basta paracetamol, hanapin ang nakatatak. PD Pharma.
Innova Power G6. Fast, sleek, reliable, affordable. Now equipped with Ryzen 7000 series CPU, Radeon RX 7000 series, 1TB SSD storage, and 32GB RAM. Enough to fulfill your needs.
Innova.
Inspire any Filipino's choice. Introducing O-Spend Mineral Water, made from 100% pure mountain water. Distilled, fresh, approved by Filipinos.
I choose O-Spend Mineral Water.
Make your sauce tastier with O-Spend mayonnaise. Mix, dip, and eat. Sarap. Make your meals deliciously neat with O-Spend mayonnaise.
Uminom ka ng tinted cola sa isang malakas na lasa para masigla ang araw mo. Try na! Sarap, di ba? Available din sa mga bayan na walang sugar at 500 ml at 1 litro ng bote. Tinted Cola, refresh your life.
Alright, welcome back. It is now 7:07 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and now let's continue with another round of our Tech Cafe right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe. Okay, so as we continue with another round, you can see we are now starting with a rumor report from Gurman, and this is reported by The Verge. So the rumored HomePod with a screen we have heard so much about was reportedly lined up for a launch in 2025, and then this spring, and now, according to the latest updates, but it's on the shelf until this fall. Leaker Kotsutami posted as much on X last week, and today, Bloomberg reporter Mark Gurman followed up with similar information, saying its robot arm equal cousin is now planned for launch in 2027. According to Gurman, the J490 smart home display HomePad is waiting for Apple to finish work on its chatbot-style AI update for Siri. That was supposed to be ready by now, but it is now predicted to arrive later this year, along with the iPhone 18 Pro plus 2027 updates for iOS, macOS, and all the rest. He describes as a silver aluminum case device with a 7-inch screen and USB-C power port, running a version of tvOS 27 while waiting new versions of the home speaker, of the HomePod speaker and Apple TV 4K box are also waiting in the wings for that Siri update, and a smart home sensor is in the works too. So while we don't know much on how it's gonna look like for the HomePad and or whatever it's called with the HomePod with a screen or HomePad, we don't know much how it's gonna look like, but yeah. So other than that, that is the latest info I can share with you right now. But again, take this with a grain of salt, because we will let Apple cook on what they're planning, so I'm not going to speculate too much further for now. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, and yeah, this is getting spicy. So Germany this is coming from Just Marina, by the way. Germany is the arena for yet another legal battle between tech giants. Samsung Electronics just won a case against TCL over fake QLED TVs. What even is QLED, or how does it actually work? Well, quantum dots are used in certain display types for improved efficiency and color accuracy. For example, some Samsung TVs use ultraviolet backlight. Ultraviolet LEDs are very efficient, but UV isn't even in the visible spectrum. Quantum dots absorb this UV light and output visible light in the desired color. An additional advantage to this approach is that quantum dots are much easier to tune to an exact wavelength of light than a typical LED. Samsung was able to demonstrate that certain TCL TVs did not use quantum dot technology despite their advertising suggesting otherwise. TCL was not able to refute that in front of the Munich first regional court. 6 different series of TVs are affected. The court ordered TCL to stop advertising those TVs as QLED and to correct false statements about them. Note, however, that this ruling is not legally binding yet and TCL can appeal. It's not just Germany though, Samsung has similar cases against TCL in the US and in Korea too. The outcome of the case in Germany could influence these other cases too. So, well, what am I even gonna expect from them, right? If they're just gonna mislead. It's just gonna, how do I say this? It's just gonna, I'm not even surprised if they're going to, mislead, how do I say this? If they're gonna like mislead, consumer from buying. Well, lesson learned. So there you have it. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that? When it comes to Samsung suing against TCL and eventually won? What can you say? I would love to know for this one. And actually, if you can give me a moment or two. Hold on. Yeah. Anyways, by the way, we are live right here on koolFM, koolTV. And yeah. Anyways, I also forgot to mention we are also live on Twitch and Facebook via Teacher and koolFM's Facebook and Twitch pages, as well as on our very own YouTube channel, that is ASPHERE'S Cafe as Media. We are also live there as well. All right, let's move on to the next one, and this time we are talking about a very interesting we are now talking about a very interesting new stuff from. Hold on, let me just fix my. Let me just fix the microphone. There it is. So I think I'm still audible. If let me just check if I am still audible. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm still audible. Nice. All right. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one, we got the Arduino Ventuno Q, and yeah, this is a very interesting new product from Arduino. So, what does it do? Well, it is the first device from Qualcomm. It is the first device from Qualcomm-owned Arduino. Now it can be used to, it cannot be tailored for AI stuff, robotics, security, education, and research. And as for the specs, it has the Uno Q. As for the specs, first, for the previous realization with the Uno Q, it had a quad-core Cortex A53 CPU and an Adreno 702 GPU, which shared 4 GB of RAM. Lightweight AI tasks could run on the CPU and GPU. Now, for the Ventuno Q, this is a very powerful microcontroller product you would expect from Arduino. So it's powered by the Dragonwing IQ 8275 or PDF chipset. It has, and what's inside, it has an 8-core Corio CPU that is two cores of Gold Prime at 2.25 GHz, 2 gold at 2.1 gigahertz, and 4 cores of silver at 1.95 gigahertz, and an Adreno 623. This puts it somewhere in Snapdragon 765G territory. The Ventuno Q offers up to 16GB of RAM and up to 64GB of eMMC storage, plus an M2 NVMe Gen 4 connector for SSD. Nice one. They have the NVMe slot if you are interested, so that's really neat to see. And the Dragon Wing chip has 40 TOPS of air performance, and it's comparable to Intel Panther Lake, which has a 50 TOPS NPU and half of what the premium Snapdragon X2 Elite chips offer, which has 80 TOPS. This SBC can run YOLO-X models for object tracking, PostNet for post detection, MediaPipe for gesture recognition, local large language models like QN, text-to-speech and text-to-speech and speech-to-text models like Mellow TTS and Whisper, and so on. The Dragon Wing chipset runs Linux, either Ubuntu or Debian for high-level tasks. Robot operating system 2 is also supported. Then there is an STM32H5 microcontroller that handles real-time interactions with peripherals. The Ventuno Q SBC has a Raspberry Pi style 40-pin GPIO header. It also supports Arduino Uno shields to easily connect things like motor controllers, sensors, and more. There are also solderless QVC connectors on board. The board supports 3 MP CSI camera, so I can achieve 360-degree vision. There is an HDMI and MIPI SDI DisplayPort, never heard of that, as well as DB alt mode over the USB-C connector. A 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port enables fast wired networking, while Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3 handle wireless connections. For industrial applications, CAN FD is also supported. Nice. So the Arduino Ventuno Q will be available in second quarter through the Arduino Store, DigiKey, Cornell, MacFoss, Moser, and RS. Pricing will be announced at a later date. So there you have it, ladies and gents. That's Arduino Ventuno Q, and whoa! This can handle a lot. This can handle a lot of AI tasks, and I am very excited for what Arduino is bringing to. So yeah, either way, I'm happy to say that Arduino is cooking well, despite the controversy in which they're not gonna use it to track you. Well, yeah, that sucks, but overall their new product is very nice, so it's just gonna be a wild one. Alright. Moving on to the next one. It looks like the Windows 11 taskbar's new internet speed test tool is a shortcut to Bing.com. Unfortunately, if you're expecting any feature, this is not the case. So this is coming from Windows latest. Microsoft is a multi-trillion-dollar company, and you expect us to tech giant to build a native feature for something as basic as an internet speed test, right? Well, as I've said it before, it's a no-no. Microsoft is rolling out a new internet speed test tool for Windows 11 that literally sends you to Bing.com. Today, on March 10, 2026, Microsoft will begin rolling out this year's third patch Tuesday update for Windows 11 and Windows 10. While Windows 10 gets nothing in terms of functionality, Windows 11 is getting a couple of new features, including Emoji 16 support in the emoji panel, and a brand new shiny internet speed test tool, which is just a shortcut to Bing.com. So this feature has been making headlines for a while now because it originally began rolling out in the last week of February with the Windows 11 KB 5077241 optional update. Now it rolls out to everyone in stages with the security update. but the claim that Windows 11 is getting a built-in tool to check your internet speed is far-fetched. Unfortunately, let me add this real quick. I have been trying to install the preview update, but for some reason it's refusing to install on my computer, and I'm not exactly sure why. Because I am met with the error with the error code 0x800737712, and yeah, it's a strange error when it comes to installing the optional update, because unfortunately it did not push through. So yeah, it sucks. I couldn't get the optional update to install on my main PC, and I'm not even sure why. Maybe I might have to say this. Maybe I might have to perform a refresh of my Windows installation, but hopefully it doesn't break anything. But yeah, it sucks either way. Now back to the topic, which you can see they're indeed adding an option where you can perform speed tests, but again, it's not a native tool. I'm warning you. So that option is where it will open your web browser or Microsoft Edge rather. It depends, but it will redirect you to Bing.com for speed tests. So once the feature rolls up to your PC, you will notice a new perform speed test button when you right-click the Ethernet or Wi-Fi icon on the taskbar. When you click perform speed test, it opens your default browser and sends you to Bing.com with the inquiry internet speed test. Now, there is a good thing about this actually. So the first, it respects your default browser settings because the shortcut calls the HTTPS HTML URL type. And second, Bing's internet speed test does work. It downloads a random chunk of the file and uploads it to the speed test servers. Pretty neat, huh? For those unaware, Microsoft has a partnership with Speedtest owned by Ookla, which was recently acquired by Accenture. When Microsoft entered into a partnership with Ookla, it dumped its own homegrown Azure-based internet speed test tool on Bing and replaced it with Speedtest. Now, on to the not so good side. So as you can see, this is what they have in their opinion. Well, what makes this even more frustrating is that Microsoft has already built the kind of experience people would reasonably expect there. This is the example when back in the day when they were still using Windows 8 at that time. So years ago, Microsoft offered a proper network speed test app for Windows built on XAML, a native framework for Windows 8 and above, instead of a shortcut to a search page. It had a clean, touch-friendly interface and fit nicely into the Metro design language Microsoft was pushing at the time. Windows 8 native Internet Speed Test tool also showed useful tools about the current network, including connection type, network name, internet status, and other technical information for those who wanted more context. It even kept a history of results, which made it more useful than a Bing.com shortcut. Microsoft has more resources than ever to hire actual engineers and build native features for Windows. In fact, the company's validation has increased by almost 11 times since 2013 when it built a native internet speed tool. The only thing that has been on the downtrend is Microsoft's intent to make Windows a better OS. At the moment, you cannot remove performance speed test shortcut from right-click menu on the taskbar, and it's also not possible to redirect to other apps or websites. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, if you all are expecting for a shortcut or a native tool that can do an internet speed test, you have been fooled. So, yeah, don't expect a native internet speed test tool on Windows if you do get an update by tomorrow or later. But yeah, anyway, I still see the option really neat, but a native functionality could have been better instead of redirecting to Bing. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this one? And what can you say? It looks like my colleague is back on my show. But yeah, what do you say about this one?
Yeah, I definitely need to have like a speed test tool now built in rather than I need to download it from Microsoft Store.
Come again? Sorry, come again?
Okay, okay. Okay, my mic good now? Okay, probably my mic is good now. So Windows 11 needs to have like a built-in speed test, not gonna lie. And
True.
because of I need to have to double check if there's any internet on both routers, for example, so I can double check it rather than go to like speedtest.net and open speed test, Ookla speed test, you know. Oh wait, what? It is just a shortcut?
Yeah, it's just a shortcut to Bing website.
Ah, hell. Hell
Yeah,
nah.
see?
I thought it
Bing
is
forms
a
because this is what it redirects to YouTube.
I thought it is a native app.
See? This is a screenshot. I
Bro.
could not demonstrate it right now. I cannot demonstrate it right now, unfortunately, because my PC is refusing to install the preview update. So I need to examine why. But yeah, that's your curiosity if you see the perform internet speed test when you right click the network icon. But there you have it. But yeah, again, I want to say this right now. A native functionality of an internet speed test would be nice instead of redirecting you to Bing. So there you have it.
Ah yes, Microsoft being Microsoft.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that? I would love to know, and tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, we are now talking about AI, and then this time we're talking about Gemini, and it looks like Gemini is growing faster than I thought, or than anyone thought right now. So this is coming from 95 Google. As AI tools continue to grow in popularity, Google's Gemini is the fastest growing one by a huge margin, new data reveals. What? Wait, what? New data reveals, yeah. SimilarWeb reports that based on website traffic, Google Gemini is not only growing, but is the fastest growing AI website by a huge margin. Looking at February 2026 versus February 2025, Gemini apparently grew by roughly 643% year over year. Compare that to ChatGPT's 37%, and you can see the absolutely massive difference. Of course, growth doesn't necessarily mean biggest, but it does show that Google's offering is gaining popularity among users where options such as ChatGPT and Perplexity have mostly stalled. On Gemini's tail were both Grok and koolTV, which grew by 480% and
It is Claude,
287%. Sorry, come again?
Claude. It is
Claude,
Claude.
there you go, thank you. Grok and Claude, there you go, thank you very much. Again, both grew by 480% and 297% in the same time period, respectively, but were both still quite a ways behind Google. DeepSeek, meanwhile, actually lost traffic year over year. Oh, so if you are if you are unaware what even is DeepSeek, we actually did a demo of the DeepSeek last year around the first month of 2025, and yeah, we did a demo, and yeah, it's pretty mixed results. But yeah, we did test DeepSeek last year, and DeepSeek is not getting any traction as of now. So here is the results. Here's the results you are seeing right here. So this is a geographic pie chart, or is it a pie chart, or yeah, you can see the chart there. So ChatGPT is sitting at 37.04%, Gemini.google.com is sitting at 643.58%. Group.com is sitting at 480.17%. 297.69% for Cloud.ai. DeepSeek lost 55.56%. Oh yeah, oh boy. And Perplexity.ai is sitting at 39.27%. So that is the data coming from SimilarWeb. It's also important to note that this is solely looking at website visits to gemini.google.com, not mobile apps or other means of access. Well, what a shock, isn't it? And I wasn't really expecting, to be fair, I wasn't really expecting Gemini to go that quick. And well, I mean, especially what's going on with ChatGPT internally, with all of its internal mess. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting, and I wonder if Gemini will be catching up against ChatGPT. Who knows? But either way, LDG, what can you say about Gemini being the fastest growing AI website to this date? All right, we'll get back to him later, but either way, that is the one thing I will be leaving here, and yeah, pretty wild, to say the least. Oh, dang it, my phone is lagging again. Just wanted to check the. Oh yeah, see, my touchscreen is not working. Oh man, I want to like check the. Yeah, my phone is not having a good time right now. I mean, I'm trying to like check my network devices, and eventually I get ghost touch. What's that, right? Sorry about that, but yeah, I just wanted to vent a little bit on it, and I know I'm really frustrated with my current phone right now, and yeah, the system UI is responding. I love that. Anyway, so yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, that is the Gemini being the fastest growing AI website to the state, and yeah, this is pretty cool. And I think I have went under time for the set of headlines. I'm not even gonna go to smartphone news just yet because yeah. Alright, so let me grab one more. Let me grab a few more before we even head to commercial break. So let me just find one more with what I can talk about there. Hey, Microsoft 365 E7 Microsoft 365 E7 is bundling Copilot AI and H365. Oh yeah, all right. Let me just open that real quick, and I'll be diving into that right now. And then I will be looking for one more. Oh no. Oh then. Alright, I think I got two additional articles for this portion, and hopefully this would fit until 7:45 at least. And well, according to the oversight board, it looks like Meta's deepfake moderation isn't good enough. And man, why is that? Well, this is coming from The Verge. Meta's methods for identifying deepfakes are not robust or comprehensive enough to handle how quickly misinformation spreads during armed conflicts like the Iran War. That's according to the Meta Oversight Board, a semi-independent body that guides the company's content moderation practices, which is now calling on Meta to overhaul how it services and labels AI-generated content across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. The call for action stems from an investigation into a fake AI video of alleged damage to buildings in Israel that was shared on Meta's social platforms last year, but the board says its recommendations are particularly relevant right now given the massive military escalations throughout the Middle East this week. In its announcement, the board says that access to accurate, reliable information is vital to people's safety amid the heightened risk of AI tools being used to spread misinformation. So this is what the Meta Oversight Board said, stating, quote, "The board's findings highlight that Meta's current system to properly label AI content is overly dependent on self-disclosure of AI usage and escalated review and does not meet the realities of today's online environment." The case also highlights platform proliferation of such content, with the content appearing to have originated on TikTok before appearing on Facebook, Instagram, and X, end quote. Recommended steps issued by the board include pushing Meta to improve its existing rules on misinformation, to address the system deepfakes, and establish a new separate community standard for AI-generated content. Meta is also being asked to develop better AI detection tools, be transparent about penalties, and scale AI content labeling efforts. The latter includes ensuring that high-risk AI labels are added to synthetic images and videos more frequently and improving C2BA, or otherwise known as content credentials, adoption so that information on AI-generated content is accessible to users. The board says it's concerned by reports that Meta is inconsistently implementing the C2PA standard, even on content generated by its own AI tools, with only a portion of Meta AI outputs being properly labeled. Meta isn't beholden to implement these recommendations, but they do align with concerns raised by Instagram head Adam Mosseri last year about the need to improve how authentic photographs and videos are identified on Meta's platforms. Now, I'll be your judge for this one because, yeah, AI deepfakes are getting worse, and big tech companies really need to step up they really need to step up from what they're planning to do, huh? But yeah, there you go. So that is what Oversight Board has said when it comes to, our Meta's Oversight Board has said when it comes to moderating the deepfake moderation. And well, what do we know? Not surprising, isn't it? But yeah, I'll be your judge for this one. Let us know your thoughts on that, and what Meta can do to improve their detection. And last but not least, well, it looks like Microsoft 365 E7 is bundling Copilot AI and Agent 365. So now that the rumored AI-centric E7 subscription does exist, and it will be slated to launch on May 1st. Plus, the Agent 365 platform for managing AI agents across Microsoft 365 and third-party services is also slated to ship to a broad ability on the same date, priced separately at $15 per user per month. The software giant describes the complete E7 bundle as the first frontier suite, which will cost $99 per user per month. And since Microsoft's AI-powered E7 subscription tier includes both Microsoft 365 Copilot and Agent 365, that price point being $99 might feel like a bargain, or as they say, price below purchasing these capabilities a la carte. Well, according to business research firm Gartner, the discount on Microsoft's new E7 subscription tier isn't as impressive as it might seem, as it only trims 13.2%. Its analysts believe that bigger bundles should get bigger discounts. Perhaps more interestingly, it states that Microsoft 365's E3 and E4 subscription tiers give more value for money with better discounts regarding what they have to offer. So this is what Gartner said. Quote, Gartner believes organizations will find the value of ME7 to be questionable for the majority of knowledge workers today. Upgrading to the ME7 bundle for Agent 365 is not advised until Microsoft adds value. In that, Microsoft seemingly shipped Microsoft 365's new AI-powered subscription tier to meet the need for a plan with multiple tools stitched together over what Microsoft 365 E5 has to offer. So, Microsoft 365 E7 ships with productivity and security apps, Microsoft Copilot, and its new AI Agent Hub right out of the gate. Still, skepticism surrounds the subscription tier, particularly the Agent 365 offering, which Gartner once again calls a work in progress with limited new net functionality to justify its $15 pump stick price point. Well, I'm going to say, no. It's too expensive in my opinion because, yeah, I would say is there any value in using the AI? That is up to you, really. That really is up to you, to say the least. So yeah, there you have it, ladies and gents. That's the Microsoft's upcoming E7 subscription plan. And well, what do you think about this? Let us know in the comment section down below, or your thoughts down below. Okay, it looks like I am alone again, but that's fine. Anyway, it's now 7:44 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and we are about to go into our last commercial break, as we will have smartphone news to share on what smartphone industry has been cooking, and of course some extra stuff. If it's well, yeah. With that, we will be right back right here we'll be right back right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe after the break. Stay along with us. We will be right back.
Pagkagising sa umagang mangon at kumain ng sapat, gatas ang kailangan para lumusog ang katawan, pero may solusyon dyan. Ito ang MSI Gatas. Uminom ng MSI Gatas.
Ada Morella po, mag-MSA Gatas para iinumin ang gatas. Sarap. Mag-MSA Gatas na. 69 na piso SRP sa suking tindahan.
The use of milk supplements must only be upon the advice of a health professional.
Every sunrise brings a new story, and every story begins with a single journey. At Zakish Airlines, we believe travel isn't just about reaching your destination. It's about the experience that carries you there. From comfort that feels like home, to service that feels like family, we make sure your moments in the sky are unforgettable. Because when you fly with us, the world is closer than you think. Zakish Airlines, your world within reach.
Kung ikaw ay nagtataka, ito ay isang napakasarap na adobo. Pero bakit napakabango? Ang sikreto ni Mommy ay ospentoyo. Ito ay fermented, gawain ito sa pinakamahusay na kalidad ng soybeans mula sa sakahan, sobrang sarap, sobrang dekalidad at syempre, safe gamitin ayon sa Food and Drug Administration. Para sa iyong pamilya, pipiliin ng lahat ang pinakamahusay na brand. Ospentoyo, sulit sarap!
Dito na tayo sa JA, kung saan lahat ay okay sa JA. Lahat dito ay super mura, lahat mga maganda dito sa JA. Sa JA, napatunayan na ng bayan, wala namang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala, mapapajoy talaga kayo. Ang supermarket namin ay JA.
I'm an all-around media personality. Of course, I read books. Because not only they gave me knowledge, but they're also a form of entertainment. What you're seeing right now are few of the best-selling brands of GSCA Kent Media. At iilan pa yan, marami pa yan ha. Basta, hanapin nyo lang ang logo na to. The Philippines' leading premier #1 awesome publisher GSCA Kent Media. Because reading is indispensable.
No? Pero don't worry mga lords, like itong Peanut Antivirus. G para sa secure na browsing. G para sa secure na computer. At G para sa secure na Pilipinas.
Download and install Peanut Antivirus now.
Di biro ang maging newscaster at President and CEO. Dati, sa office inaantok pa ako. At napapagod. Buti sa tulong ng Lion Energy Drink, lumakas pa ako. Bukod sa taurine, vitamin B complex at ginseng, ay meron ring vitamin C para lumakas ang immune system. Kaya ako'y matibay at masigla ang aking trabaho. Lakas ka with Lion Energy Drink. From Godwin Enterprise.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Lion Energy Drink ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Antukin pa rin ako tuwing umaga. Napakahirap talagang gumising at yun, late ako parati sa programa. Kapag maganda ang gising ko, sisigla pa rin ako sa tulong ng Tengu Coffee Drink. Ito ay may tamang tapang ng kape na may asukal at creamer. 3-in-1 sa tapang at sarap. Ang tapang, ang sarap. Try nyo. Basta may Tengu, gigising ka.
PDM. Ang pagiging news anchor at journalist, hindi biro ang naging trabaho ko. Mula sa aking pagbasa ng script hanggang matapos ang aking newscast. Hay nako, nakakapagod talaga. Ang saklap pa. Buti na lang, I discover Meralias Cola.
Ang inumin na ito ay may iron, taurine at B vitamins. Dinagdagan pa ng fiber.
Pagkainom ko pa lang, ang sarap. Refreshing talaga at sulit pa. Wow, ayos to sa akin. Kapag masigla ang ating araw, mag-Meralias Cola na tayong lahat.
Sulit na, refreshing pa. 15 pesos pa rin.
DM Products Corporation.
Innova Power G6, fast, sleek, reliable, affordable. Now equipped with Ryzen 7000 series CPU, Radeon RX 7000 series, 1TB SSD storage, and 32GB RAM. Enough to fulfill your needs.
Innova.
Mira drinking water. Fresh, cool, calm.
Inspire any Filipino's choice. Introducing O-Spend Mineral Water, made from 100% pure mountain water. Distilled, fresh, approved by Filipinos.
I choose O-Spend Mineral Water.
Napapagod ako sa advertisement ito. Iyong sa tibiro at nakaka-stress. Para iinom ako ng AO Cola. Ang AO Cola at may iron, taurine, at B vitamins. Para iinom ng sugar ito. Sarap. Adam Orelar po. Para sa AO Cola. AO Cola. Also available of AO Cola Blueberry. Canyon Choco Biscuit. with extra chocolate and extra creamer in one biscuit, will give a delicious chocolate taste. You'll want to try it again.
Cameo Choco Biscuit. Feel the Choco vibes.
Uminom ka ng tinted cola sa isang malakas na lasa para masigla ang araw mo. Try na! Sarap, di ba? Available din sa mga bayan na walang sugar at 500 ml at 1 litro ng bote. Tinted cola, refresh your life.
Pagdating sa kalusugan ng pamilya, kailangan safe. Ang toyong dapat yung suriin, dapat pasado sa Food Safety Standards Evaluation kasama ang level ng 3-MCPD. Ang DM Soy Sauce, pasado yan. Safe gamitin, safe sa inyong pamilya. DM Soy Sauce, ito ay safe.
Hachu! 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 I love to drink my Mysakit. We love to drink my Mysakit. If you wanna get that good, drink Mysakit.
Wala kaming commercial. Pwera na lang sa commercial nito, oo naman. Pero, meron ba kaming bagong produkto? Meron ba kaming iaalok sa inyo? Meron ba kaming kinuhang artista o sikat na personalidad para i-endorse kung anong mang inaalok namin? Siyempre, ang sagot niyan, wala. Literal na wala. Wala kaming yan, Chong.
Make your sauce tastier with O-Spend mayonnaise. Mix, dip, and eat. Sarap. Make your meals deliciously neat with O-Spend mayonnaise.
Kahit saan, sisig ng ina mo. Lunod ka sa saya, mula sa pampagana hanggang sa dulo.
Ang sisig na hinahanap-hanap mo ay nasa sisig ng ina mo na. For just 70 pesos, may legit na kapampangan na sisig ka na with soft drinks and sabaw. Dito lang yan sa sisig ng ina mo.
Ang boring dito. Hanap na lang kaya ako ng maiinom.
Ang refreshing.
Refresh your day. Feel alive with Chaos Cola. Also available, Chaos Soda.
Woo! 25 pesos lang. Sulit. Bin na.
Nutro low-fat milk. It has the same creamy neutral goodness with lesser fat and lesser calories. And now, it's rich with even more vitamins and minerals. More nutrients, less fat, less calories. So good you'll float. Nutro low-fat milk. Breast milk is still best for babies.
Welcome back to the program. It is now 7:55 p.m. Philippines Standard Time, and yes, we are now in the last set of our Tech Cafe headlines right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe. All right, so I think I only have 4, and I will definitely be adding more articles to cover up the portion, but without any further to do now, let's get my screen share on. Okay, here we go. And well, we're actually at the smartphone news part of the tech cover now, but our first one we have is the iPhone Fold, and it is rumored that it will be having a different name. So, Apple's first foldable iPhone has been widely rumored to arrive this fall alongside the iPhone 80 Pro and iPhone 80 Pro Max after many years of speculation about it. One bit that we are still inevitably still speculating about is the device name. But so actually they have been calling it the iPhone Fold, but now a new rumor out of China today claims it will actually be called iPhone Ultra. Interesting. And this, again, take this with a grain of salt, okay? So take this with a grain of salt, but this is what they're going to call it right here. So again, you got on the left, okay? So, okay, right away, this is, take this with a grain of salt as you will, because this is just a leak renders you are seeing on screen. So on the left, you got the AirPods Ultra, on the middle you have the iPhone Ultra, and on the right you got the MacBook Ultra. So the iPhone Ultra will eventually start at over 10,000 Chinese yuan, or that is converting to about $1,446 at the current exchange rates, and its top tier version will be over 20,000. Yeah, 20,000 yuan, which converts to around $2,893. The entry model is cheaper than expected if this rumor pans out, and they're not sure why the delta between the cheapest and the most expensive model in the line is so huge. The AirPods Ultra are those AirPods Pro recently rumored to come with cameras, and while the MacBook Ultra is that MacBook rumored to employ an OLED touchscreen for the first time. All of these, like the Ultra name implies, will be the most expensive option in Apple's respective stables: the most expensive phone, the most expensive earbuds, and the most expensive laptop. So that is, of course, if all of this pans out, is after all nothing but an unconfirmed rumor at this point. So yeah, take this with a grain of salt as you will. So if this, whoops, I think I have accidentally opened my Canary Discord again, Canary version of Discord. That is not intentional. Let me just end it. Let me just end the task. Shoot. There we go. Okay, I think I have lagged a bit because I was trying to close Discord and my computer locked up for a few moments, but yeah. Anyway, so that is the iPhone Fold, now rumored to pair with the Ultra Monk Gear along with AirPods and MacBook, as you're seeing on right here. And yeah, this is pretty interesting because because I know that Samsung, because I know the fact that Samsung was the first brand to, well, if not first, but among the what is this, among the smartphone brands, major smartphone brands rather, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's move on to the next one now, and it looks like the clock has struck and to 8 o'clock now, and well, we're less than 30 minutes before we wrap our coffee up. And actually, before I even move on to the next one, let me check if there is anyone watching the stream right now on our channel. There is in fact one people watching on my one people. All right, let's see what Tongo has to say. I'm pretty sure that's Tongo or whoever there. There it is. We got Tongo. Hello, Tongo. Welcome to the cafe. Nice to see you here. And yeah, I am seeing you right here. But yeah, welcome. Nice to see you in the chat. And I will be reading your comments. Having a busy week lately. Yeah, I understand because I was wondering if why you didn't show up yesterday on the Monday episode of ASPHERE'S Cafe. But I mean, it's pretty understandable that you're busy, so that's okay. And this is why and you said, and by the way, you said this is why AI regulation law should be implemented. Yeah, if you're referring to the group thingy, I don't know if you're referring to group or entropic. Enlighten me, and Tonko, if you're actually referring to how do I say this? If you're referring to entropic or group when it comes to AI, enlighten me in what you were referring to. But yeah. Either way, Tonko, it's nice to see you in the live chat again after a while. But yeah, good to see you, my man. Okay, let's continue with our smartphone news now. And looks like Samsung is bringing or might bring a Galaxy S26 camera feature to older flagships. This is interesting. So Samsung is considering adding a feature from the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and Galaxy S26 Ultra camera to the Galaxy S25 devices, namely visual aperture for the telephoto camera. This could be added as part of a software update since it is entirely a software feature. So people on the internet have apparently been asking the Korean company to bring it to last year's flagships, and executive has confirmed that Samsung is looking into it. Nice one. So visual aperture already works on the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra via the Expert Raw app, but only for the main camera. Having it available for the telephoto as well would obviously improve its usability. So, as the name implies, visual aperture lets you artificially simulate different apertures. This thus lets you effectively adjust the intensity of the background blur effect, which is most useful for portrait shots. Now, interestingly, the Galaxy S27 could copy the iPhone 80 Pro series and come with a physically variable aperture for the main camera, a feature Samsung had on the Galaxy S9 in 2018 and the Galaxy S10 in 2019, but then decided to drop. Now that Apple's doing it, things might change. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not planning on getting the S26 or getting a S26 and you wanted a S26 feature to come to your S25, well, there's that good news to share. So yeah, pretty nice. Oh man. So what exactly is the point of oh my god. I mean, let me answer this cash rules thing, everything. I know they're not obviously gonna watch my show. I know obviously you're not gonna watch you're not gonna watch what I'm saying, but so you're saying what exactly is the point of buying an S26? Oh, I mean, let's be real here, man. Let's be real here. The S26 is more for those who are planning to upgrade from a 4-year or 5-year-old or even 6-year-old plus flagship phone to a newer phone like the S26. I think this is more aimed for those who are looking to upgrade to a newer phone. Not for those who already own the S25 Ultra. I don't see the reason why you should get the S26 Ultra unless you are still fearing about the FOMO thingy. But again, if you already own the S25 Ultra, then there is actually no reason for you to move over to the S26 because you will not see any performance differences. Alright? You will not be seeing any performance differences as of this time. But yeah guys, so that's my take on what Cash Rules Everything has said in the comments section over on GSM Arena. There you have it. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the upcoming of the visual aperture that will soon support telephoto camera for the S25? I would love to know because this is a huge thing. If you are not planning on moving to S26 Ultra or any S26 series, well, there you have it. That's all I can say. And well, we are now talking about budget smartphones as we always cover for the end of our show. Here we are, starting with the Realme Note 20. So Realme has introduced a new budget phone called the Note 80 in select Southeast Asian markets. The phone is powered by a Unisoc chipset and features a single rear camera and an LCD display. The Realme Note 80 sports a 6.74-inch LCD display with HD Plus resolution and a 90Hz refresh rate. The panel supports up to 563 nits of peak brightness in high brightness mode and offers a 118Hz touch sampling rate. So, if you're curious how the Note 80 from Realme looks like, there you go. This is your first glance of the said smartphone. Now, for the specs, I hate to disappoint you, but if you're expecting a mid-range specs, well, prepare to be disappointed. So, for the specs, it will be powered by the Unisoc T7250 chipset that features a Mali G57 GPU. The SoC is covered with up to 4GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB of eMMC 5.1 internal storage. The phone also supports a micro SD card for storage expansion. Now at the back, the Note 80 offers a single 8MP camera with an f2.0 aperture and autofocus. For selfies, there's a 5MP camera housed inside a water drop notch. The phone packs a 6300 mAh battery that supports 15W wire charging. Other specifications include a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, dual SIM support with 4G connectivity, Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.2, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and GPS. And I think this is a good thing if you want to have a headphone jack. If you want to have a headphone jack, well, I see this is a win-win because yeah, if you wanted a headphone jack for your next smartphone, well, I guess this is for you. Anyway, the Realme Note 80 is available in Glacier Blue and Storm Black color options. It measures 7.94mm thick and weighs about 197 grams. As for pricing, in Thailand, the phone starts at wait. What's HD? What is Thailand? Bahit. Okay. So it starts at 3,500. Oh my gosh. It starts at 3,599 Thai Bahit, or converting to around $115 for the 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage variant. So that's the Realme Note 80. Again, prepare to be disappointed because the specs will not impress you considering that considering that this is more on the low-end smartphone. So again, don't be too surprised for the smartphone if you're expecting a premium mid-range specs. Yeah, that's not happening with this one because it's using a budget-oriented chipset. So yeah, prepare to be disappointed. And apparently I forgot to play my background music again. But yeah, that's the Realme Note 80. Again, this one is not for me. This phone is definitely not for me, to say the least. I mean, this is more aimed for older people rather than myself, but more for people who are only using it for basic tasks, not for power intensive stuff. But yeah, but still, having a 6.784-inch display, it's a massive display to be fair. But having a media core chipset, yeah, I aren't buying it, to be fair. I aren't buying it, honestly, because yeah, it's absolute dog shit. If I'm gonna be honest to you, it's absolute dog shit. So there's my take on that. Next, Poco C85X. And you heard that right. Let me just refresh it. 6,300 million battery for the Realme Note 80. Also on the Poco C85X, but with a better processor. Oh yeah. Anyway, so our next one is the Poco C85X, and it is the latest entry in the Poco C series and will bring a massive 6,300 million battery, just like the Realme Note 80, alongside a compelling starting price of 10,999 rupees in India. But you get an even bigger display than the Realme Note 80 with the Meteor Core specs. Imagine that! So the device is built around a 6.9-inch HD+, again not 1080p, but just a typical 720p display. But yet still you're getting a massive display for an affordable price like this. And the refresh rate you get is 120 Hz, along with IPS right there, with a notch cut out for the 8 megapixel selfie camera. You also get a single 32 megapixel main cam around the back, alongside an unspecified luxury lens. The C85X is equipped with MediaTek's Dimensity 63000, just like the regular Poco C85, and paired with 4GB of RAM. Again, not a great choice from Poco, to be fair, because yeah, if I'm gonna be honest with you, the minimum should be at least 8 from what I'm seeing the perspective in the world of smartphones right now. But yeah, alongside 64 and 128 gigabytes of storage configurations. Yep, just like the Realme Note 80. And again, it's expandable via the onboard micro SD XC card slot. So yeah, the 6,300 milliamp battery supports 50 watt wire charging, and also offers reverse wire charging up to 7.5 watt speeds. The software side is covered by Xiaomi HyperOS based on Android 16. And so the set phone comes in black, gold, and green colors. For the base model, being 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage RAM, is priced at $10,999 or $120. Again, $10,999 referring to Indian rupees, while the 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage configuration will go for 11,999 Indian rupees, converting that to $130. Open sales in India are scheduled to begin on March 14. Hey, at least you're getting a better chipset than the Realme Note 80. How's that? but you are also getting a massive display than Realme Note 80. So I guess the Poco C85X is worth getting than the Realme Note 80, because Realme Note 80, the choice of picking a chipset for that phone is absolute dog shit. Okay, but either way, that's my hot take. If you don't take it too seriously, you can share thoughts to say if this one's worth it for you. Sure, but again, whatever I say here is my own opinion, and if you don't like it, you feel free to disagree. So that is Poco C85X, and honestly, again, coming from my hot take, I have to say that they have a slightly better specs than the Realme Note 80. Just saying. They have a 6.9-inch display, and they have a better chipset. Okay, they have a better chipset compared to Realme Note 80. So that's my take. All right, I'm now heading over to our non Discord audience. What are your thoughts? I would love to know. Drop it in the live chat or in the comments down below. All right, so let me check my top chat. My live chat right here. Okay, so Tonko's saying 63,000 milliamp rookie numbers, right? Yeah, right. Infinix has more than 7,000. Wait, really? I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if I have covered various Infinix smartphone articles before that mentions over 7,000 milliamp battery. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty interesting if Infinix offers 1,000 times more than Realme and Oppo combined. Okay. All right. So yeah, again, that's Poco C85X, ladies and gentlemen. And yep, we are 12 minutes under time for this portion of smartphone news on ASPHERE'S Cafe. And let me grab some more before we even wrap it up, and then I'll be sharing my own take. Oh. All right, we do have more. We got Vivo T5X. Let me open that real quick. Let me just make sure it opens to my right browser window. I don't think we have any budget smartphones right now to cover. We only got the Vivo T5X. So I guess afterwards we will be going a little bit off topic, but rather we'll be reading r/internet ph. That is right after I'm done covering the set of smartphone news. So yeah, let me just prepare the topics what I wanna share, and then the hottest post on r/internet page right now. All right, I think I got it all now. All good now. Right, so let's get my screenshot back up, and we'll be reading the last. We will be reading the last. We will be reading the last smartphone headline in our Tech Cafe, and that will be the wrap for the smartphone news for tonight or today. So our last one is the Vivo T5X 5G, which is set to launch in India next week. So Vivo recently began teasing the T5X 5G in India and has now confirmed the phone's launch date along with a few key specifications. The phone is set to succeed the Vivo T4X, which debuted in March last year. So the Vivo T5X 5G will be unveiled in India on March 17 and will be available for purchase via the official Vivo India website, offline stores, and Flipkart. So in a decent video posted on X, Vivo revealed that the T5X 5G will be priced under 23,000 Indian rupees, that is around $250 in the country. The headset will also pack a 7,200 mAh battery, which Vivo claims is the biggest in the segment. So yeah, we do have a teaser trailer which we can show you right now. Have a look.
Vivo.
Oh, I love that. I love that brand jingle. Let's hear that one more time.
Vivo.
But yeah, as you just saw in the teaser video, you got 5 times the turbo speed, 5 times the turbo life, and 5 times the durability. So that is the Vivo T5X the teaser video that you just saw. Alright, so the upcoming Vivo smartphone, as they mentioned in their teaser video, will also offer IP68 and IP69 plus dust and water resistance ratings. As per the teaser images, the T5X 5G will be available in green and white color options. It will come with a dual rear camera setup and run Origin OS. The phone is expected to be powered by the Dimensity 74000 Turbo SoC. So that is the details of Vivo T5X 5G that is once again set to launch in India by next week. Yep, we're a week away, as I'm noticing here. So this is where I'm talking about today, March 10, and then will be launched a week later. Pretty neat, huh? Yeah, pretty neat. So yeah, I do believe that the Vivo T5X is going to be worth getting, and I do hope that it will eventually expand to other countries like here in the Philippines, because Philippines is very known for budget and mid-range smartphones coming from Vivo, Tecno, Infinix, and Oppo like this. So I do eventually hope that the T5X will be sold in the Philippines someday, but maybe one day, who knows. And that's the wrap for the smartphone news right here on our Tech Cafe. And now we will be moving on to r/internet PH. Now, I have never heard Cheetah broadband, and I'm seeing and this is the first time any OP is asking this question. Has anyone tried Cheetah broadband? And this is what he said. Has anyone subscribed to Cheetah broadband? I'm planning to switch internet providers. PLDT sucks. I checked the website and it looks like their error is serviceable. So Bolt_extension 2075 made an interesting explanation to OP's post. Cheetah Broadband doesn't publicly disclose their international provider, but based on the research, most reviews say they're reliable. I think they look promising by the 9 years of good service in this area, remembering of how Converge was in its early years. Nice. So something tells me that Cheetah Broadband is more on the side of covering result than NCR, and I think that's understandable. I think that is pretty understandable, knowing that we have local internet service providers, and again, your usage may vary if you do subscribe to your local internet service provider. Because for me, I have not Converge, sorry. I mean InfiniBand as my current internet service provider, and it's been what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh! Almost 6 months of using their service. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Almost 6 months being subscribed to almost 6 months of being subscribed to InfiniBand. Oh my gosh. I know. I'm happy with them for 6 months, and I haven't had any issues for long. How can I have a reliable internet service provider like this? Like, wow, this is pretty rare. But yeah. But what's not included is the human error, which I accidentally resetted the modem, which led to the credentials stored on the modem being erased. So I had to call InfiniBand to get it sorted, and yeah, that's entirely my fault for hard resetting the modem. But other than that, that's not counted. And all I can say right now is that InfiniBand, for almost 6 months of my usage, is pretty good. So if you're located in NCR condominiums, I highly recommend looking for InfiniBand, because InfiniBand really has a reliable service that you can actually rely on. They have a good customer service. They have an accessible payment portal or a customer portal, and the best part, you can even contact their customer service using tickets, and that's what I liked about. Like, and the response you get is nearly an hour later, and yeah, that's exactly the best part I can share right now. But yeah, as for the Cheetah Broadband, it is a local ISP from what I understand, based in Rizal. And yeah, I have never heard Cheetah Broadband before. This is the first time I'm hearing the ISP name there. But I expect to be as good as InfiniBand, but their ISP offers IPTV. That's the difference. Now, as we end here, well, they emailed NTC, and when they called PLDT, they gave the breakdown of the termination fee and the remaining balance, and it is around 9,000. And yeah, and this is what NTC's response they got there. And well, as of right now, it doesn't look like they have an obvious availability yet, but that leads to the question why it is gaining 40 upvotes as of this time. Alright, I'm running out of topics. I think this is where I have to end here, but that also means this is the best time we will be ending our show on time. So that brings the end of ASPHERE'S Cafe. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will be back again. Tomorrow with the anime and pop culture. Anime and Japanese pop culture cafe right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe with my returning co-host Astriel or Hoshi Konimi. So yeah, expect my returning co-host to be part of my show tomorrow. This has been ASPHERE'S Cafe. I am Karo, and the cafe is now closed. We will be seeing you tomorrow, and coming up next on Cool FM, DCEX, SF Radio, and ASP Radio is La Noche del Martes. We will be seeing you tomorrow. The coffee's over. See you tomorrow. Good night, everyone, and have the great rest of your day. Bye bye.